my dear Harrowers, and welcome to Medea's Tarot. If you are new to my channel, you can go ahead and watch my introduction video so that you will know more about me. And if you haven't, then please do subscribe to my channel as well, and you can share it as well. That would really help me out. And for today, we're going to be dealing all about spirit animals or familiars. So we have certain spirit guides in our lives that take on the form of animals. Or sometimes we can summon them and they can manifest in the form of familiars or even our pets. Other times, they can even show up in our dreams as well. Like for me personally, I actually have 2 animal spirit guides that showed up to me in my dreams before. And what we're going to do for today is I'm going to use the Spirit Animal Oracle so that we can look into the energy of your spirit animal or familiar. Now, it doesn't really matter whether the animals that are shown here are the actual animals that you associate your spirit guides with. We are simply just using this Spirit Animal Oracle cards so that I can have some idea on what the energy is of your spirit animal or your spirit guide. So whether the animals depicted in the cards are the actual ones that you associate with or not, but what we're going to look into is the energy and the role that these spirit animal plays in your life. We're also going to be looking at their role in your life or what aspect of your life they govern or what specific situations they can help you with. And then we're also going to have some self-care messages that they have for you on how you can improve your lifestyle or improve your relationship as well with your animal guides. So this video was inspired by the recent death of my cat, Kitty. So I actually got Kitty February of 2014 when I was pregnant with my daughter. Kitty was a rescued cat found on the highway. And when I got him, he couldn't have been more than a few days old because his eyes were still closed, and it took 1 week with me before his eyes finally even opened. We nursed him and took care of him ever since then. And then eventually, when we had to move houses because our place was too small, when I had my baby, I had to give Kitty to my grandmother because the new place that my family moved to did not allow any pets. But Kitty was doing really well there because my grandmother's place was in a more rural city and Kitty was free to roam there in the backyard. But basically, Kitty was with us for 7 years. And unfortunately, what happened is apparently someone from their area hit Kitty in the head. And that's how he passed away. Which is very unfortunate, but I feel like I've once again gained another spirit guide. And I know that Kitty will always stay with me, so Kitty is what inspired me to make this video. Now, I do apologize if I haven't been able to upload any videos recently. It's because I got swamped with doing personal readings in the last weeks, and I actually got sick after that. It was the first time that I've been that busy with readings for a whole week straight of 4 readings a day, and on average it takes almost 2 hours per reading, and it eventually took its toll on my body. I got super drained and fatigued, and I got sick. That's why I wasn't able to make any videos as well. Now, I initially intended for this to just be one long video wherein we were also supposed to pull out some tarot cards in order to get some more messages and a more in-depth look into your spirit animal or familiar, but I soon found out that just the oracle cards alone was already too long. So instead, what I did is I decided to split it. This is going to be a 2-part video. So this is the first one, and then later on I will be uploading the part 2, and I will link it down below here, or you can just subscribe to my channel so that you'll be notified once the second part is already uploaded. So for this video, we are simply going to look at the characteristics of your spirit animal or familiar. So as usual, we are going to have 4 groups. And as you saw on the thumbnail, you will have a choice of one of the 4 pictures. And to help you choose intuitively, we are going to have our meditation first. If you're still not able to decide right after the meditation, just feel free to go ahead and repeat it. But right after the meditation, I will immediately start with the first group. So yes, I will see you at the readings. Let's start the meditation. Welcome, my Harrower number 1. I already laid out your cards, and this is going to be your reading. Let's go ahead and start first with the Spirit Animal Oracle card. So this is the one that's representing the energy of your spirit animal. So you got number 38, Lizard Spirit. Dream the world into being. So just as it says there, your spirit animal is one that governs dreamers. You might find that you're someone who, if you stay still or quiet, you just get a flow of ideas all the time, and it's so easy for you to picture things in your head. With the flexibility of this lizard spirit, it's almost as if you can imagine or picture things into existence before they can even happen. And you always have this clear insight into the possibilities in certain situations, be it the good or the bad ones. Now, as for the role of your spirit animal in your life, we're going to use the Psychic Tarot. What you have is the third eye chakra, and you have here mental conflict. This is also the Two of Swords in this deck. And I am not surprised that this spirit animal is greatly in tune with your third eye chakra, because your third eye chakra is the chakra that governs clairvoyance, or how you perceive the metaphysical, the things that we cannot see with our naked eye. So with these 3 cards here, this tells me that you are a very spiritually aware or sensitive person. And one of the downsides of being so perceptive that you see a lot of the possibilities of a certain situation before it can even happen is that then it becomes hard for you to make choices. So it's easy for someone like you to get plagued by indecision, especially with this mental conflict here. Because even though you have very clear dreams of the things that you want in your life, at the same time you also can have very distinct fears, because you can equally perceive the possible bad outcomes. And in certain times of stress, it's easy for these dreams that you have to also turn into nightmares. This becomes even scarier when the personal warnings that you give yourself, when you see the possibilities of negative outcomes, when they actually come true. So sometimes it's easy for you to stop yourself in your tracks before you even begin something. But that's what your spirit guide, spirit animal is here to help you with. For you to be able to decide better and manifest your dreams, turn things around instead of a negative outcome. This spirit animal gives you the capacity to turn that around completely. If you perceive that something bad is going to come out of a certain situation, then feel free to ask your spirit animal for guidance, so that you can instead dream of a solution, or how this particular situation can become better, or what good outcomes can happen instead of the negative or bad ones that you are perceiving or fearing. Because you have that power. You can change how things will go simply by dreaming it differently. Now we're going to use the healing mantra deck to look at what particular thing your spirit animal is helping you to improve. And you got greeting wellness. It says balance is the key to a life of infinite miracles. Now I just would like to point out how similar I think these 2 symbols look, especially that they are both purple. So this is really calling out or pointing out to your third eye chakra. So yes, like I mentioned, your spirit animal is helping you to improve on balance, your inner personal stability, especially with the things that you can control, so that you can manifest a better life for yourself. And that instead of just having obstacles or crossroads, what you can have are opportunities. And the number one thing that you can definitely control is your thoughts. There is so much more power in your thoughts compared to other people, because whatever it is that you're expecting, whatever it is that you are thinking or picturing is really usually what does happen. So rather than letting that go against you, you have to learn how to use it to your advantage. Now we're going to be looking at the Crazy Sexy Love Notes for some self-care messages on how you can better improve your life as well as your relationship with your spirit animal. So these are the two that you got. First, we have here a new day. So it says here that let go of what was in order to make room for what's to come. It may be time to release a relationship that has run its course, a job that's lost its luster, or a depleting commitment. The past is over. What's done is done. Acknowledge the feelings, learn from the experience, and give yourself permission to release any negative emotions or guilt. When one area in our life falls apart, new opportunities fall into place. So I think this goes perfectly with your lizard spirit. Because basically what this is saying is that you shouldn't be afraid to take action. Don't let yourself get stuck into this mental conflict of indecision and not being able to move forward because you're fearing the outcomes. Your spirit animal wants to remind you that you have the capacity to change things. If you make a certain choice and you don't like the outcome, you can change it simply by making another choice. But basically, there is always a new day. If there are things that you know that are not serving you anymore and that you need to let go, then by all means do so. And at the same time, if there are things that you've always wanted, then go for it. Because regardless of what the outcome will be, it's still going to take you somewhere. And you can always change the steps if there's something that you find that you don't like. But at least you're able to try and experience things, not just letting them run in your head. Because there's a big tendency here for you to always just be all up in your head and not being able to move or to get stuck with just thinking rather than committing it into action. So you also have here embrace your sensitivity. So this one says, your sensitivity is the sacred gateway to your intuition. It's that special, receptive radar that picks up energy and signals. In fact, your sensitivity is one of your greatest assets and the key to your survival. The more you connect with it, the more miracles and synchronicities you'll attract. And I think this goes perfectly well with this third eye chakra. If you're one of those people who is seeing your gift, your third eye sensitivity gift, as a curse instead of a blessing, because if what's happening to you is that it seems that you're always coming up with all of the self-fulfilling prophecies in a negative way, then it's time for a do-over. So combine this a new day with embrace your sensitivity. The first step that you have to do is accept your gift. Accept who and how you are and practice it. If you're mostly thinking of negative things like living nightmares in your head, then make a conscious effort to turn that around and change it, because this is something that you can harness to your advantage. And for those of you who are already able to do it, then I am proud of you, because it's not an easy thing to master, but it is possible. Whenever you're feeling lost, scared, or unable to decide, then call on to your spirit animal for guidance. But first and foremost, with embrace your sensitivity, this is what will allow you to be open and ready to receive the answers. So rather than fearing it or avoiding it, you have to embrace it instead. Anyway, with proper balance in your life, this is something that you will be able to harness and eventually control. Because you can always say yes or say no to things. You always have that choice on what you will allow or what's not okay with you. But it's always very important to live a well-balanced life and give priorities or time to each and every aspect of your life. Your spiritual side is not any different. It needs nourishing and attention. Now finally, we are going to look at the Super Attractor cards for some messages on how you can better attract positivity and manifest good things in your life. So we have here this one first. Manifesting is the creative process of aligning with the energy of the universe to co-create an experience that elevates my spirit and the spirit of the world. So there we go. This is very much in line with this mental conflict, if you ask me, that rather than stressing about the possible outcomes, why don't you refocus yourself into the positive outcomes that you would like to get, whichever it is that you choose? So, for example, if you're choosing between two things, come up with a positive outcome for one of the choices and at the same time try to come up with another positive outcome if you decide to go with the other choice. So that way it's like you're never going to lose, because either way there's something good that's going to come out of it. So you don't have to fear making a decision, because either way it's like you'll be able to win something. So that's the message of this card. Use your ability to manifest with the help of your spirit animal. And finally, we also have here, the universe has big plans for me and it's time to claim them. And I think that this goes really well with the greeting wellness. Is that inner knowing that no matter what, things eventually turn out okay. Life is made up of good and bad things. There's a certain balance in that as well. But you can always rest in the fact that there will always be good things. Even during the times that you are going through hardships. Remember that somewhere along the way there are blessings or nice surprises that are still lined up and waiting for you. We are part of a collective of the universe, but we each live a significant existence within that collective. So whenever you are feeling that you are in that moment of fear, again, call out to your spirit animal and remember that equally good things can happen for you as well. It's a matter of choosing to focus on those things instead. And there we go, my Harrower number 1. That's it for your spirit animal or familiar. If you would like to be updated for the part 2 of this video, wherein I'm going to use the tarot to get some messages from your spirit animal to you, then please do subscribe to my channel. And if you resonated and like this reading, then do give this video a thumbs up. You have received your divine message. May God bless you and keep on cultivating. Bye! Welcome, my Harrower number 2. I already laid out your cards and let's go ahead and start with your reading. First off, we're going to look at the Spirit Animal Oracle card so that we can take a look at the energy of your spirit animal. And what you got is the Dragonfly Spirit number 22. Truth transcends illusion. So this spirit animal is the one that's calling you to reevaluate yourself, your life, but most especially your relationships with other people. This spirit animal is calling you towards discernment as well as remembrance that you are part of a collective universe that you are infinitely connected with. Nothing or no one can run or hide behind the clear wings of the dragonfly. And this spirit animal guides and reminds you that you are loved by God as well as by the universe, and that you are protected and enveloped in this love. Your spirit animal is also reminding you that there's more than what we are experiencing through our senses. The world and the universe is so much more than those things that are right in front of us. And the main purpose of your spirit animal is to expose the depths of your heart and soul. And next we're going to take a look at the Psychic Tarot cards for the main role of your spirit animal and what aspect in your life it governs. So first we have here suffering in silence. This is also the 9 of Swords. You also have the sacral chakra. And finally we have patience and planning, which is also the 7 of Wands. Now, first I just want to point out that the fact that your spirit animal is mostly in tune with your sacral chakra, which by the way is on our lower abdomen around the genitals. So this chakra is all about passion, our sexuality, pleasure. And I already apologize, but I feel like I need to call out some of the people here who are using sex as the main way of connecting with other people. Especially those of you who has a fear of commitment. Now, there is a reason for the amount of passion that you have, but your spirit animal is here to show you the truths behind it, to help you face a lot of your fears. Because I can see that for some of you, you are using this as a means of coping mechanism. The sacral chakra also talks about fear of death, which is why some of you may be doing this in order to just feel more alive. Especially for the people who are going through a lot of emotional turmoil, a lot of emotional pain, and are using this as a means of distraction and self-fulfillment, just to ease some of those pains, because the fact that we have suffering in silence over here, for most of you, whenever you are going through something, rather than expressing it, opening it up to other people as a means of releasing it, getting it out there and letting go of it, most of you choose to internalize it, to keep it a secret, keep it within yourself, because you find it hard to trust and to be open with other people. For most of you, you are seeking physical connections just to feel that void and that disconnect that you feel as if you are separate or isolated away from others. Your spirit animal is the one that guides you in those moments. Your spirit animal is the one who nudges you and gives you that feeling that something is not quite right. Because I am seeing two possibilities here. It's that for some of you, the passion that you have is misdirected. It is something that you actually need to channel towards your goals, plans, your intentions, maybe even with your career or through creativity. It's that you have all of this wonderful energy inside you that's not being expressed how it should and is manifesting into your sexuality. Now, for others of you, it's even trickier, especially with this liberating love card over there. For some of you, this strong amount of passions that you have is actually a manifestation of your deeper emotional feelings towards other people or to a specific person in your life that you just don't have the guts to admit that you care for or that you really love, in fear of rejection or because of certain complications. Most especially if you're someone who's dealing with a mental health issue. Now, you should call on your spirit animal in order to help you take things slow and possibly look a little bit deeper and reevaluate yourself and your situations, especially your reasons. Now we're going to take a look at the Healing Mantra card. So again, this is Liberating Love. And it says, I allow myself to receive all the fulfillment I'm willing to give. So that's the tricky part here. This is the one that's showing what your spirit guide is specifically helping you to improve on or to work on, is liberating love. And again, I said that this is tricky because the reason why it's so hard for you to receive the love that you deserve is because you are also so very apprehensive in giving that love. Specifically because of the suffering in silence here. You prefer keeping those things to yourself, or it's as if you almost want other people to do it first, to express it first to you. And even then, there's a tendency that if they do, you're the one who's going to reject it, because there's this feeling of you don't really deserve it. And that's the problem. So in those times, call on your spirit animal for help and guidance to allow you to become more open to the connections that you know that you are missing out on. Because most of the things that you're really doing or that you're acting on are quite self-pleasing and self-serving. You go out there trying to pursue happiness, but at the end of the day, it just leaves you feeling quite empty. Because you've locked yourself up so far down away and have been quite isolated from the world that you feel separated, so separated from other people, and that it's so hard for you to connect. Now, we're going to take a look at the crazy, sexy love notes card on some self-care advice. What you can do to improve your life as well as your relationship with your spirit animal. And this one here says, risk it. Great things are born from those brave enough to fly, those who are willing to risk failure. Your dreams require action, and you're ready to make a move. Remember, you have nothing to lose. Even if you flop, you'll receive valuable insight. So get off your butt and take a leap. Go for it. Now, with the patience and planning card over here, this tells me that you're not exactly an impulsive type of person. Sure, you may jump into relationships, specifically physical relationships, very fast, but when it comes to the other things in your life, you are actually quite held back. And at the same time, when it comes to admitting your feelings, especially if you're falling in love with a person, it's so hard for you to admit those things. Now, patience and planning here is calling you to reevaluate the connections that you have with other people, especially the meaning of those relationships that you might have to reconsider. Jumping into rash, non-committing relationships. But at the same time, with risk it right here, this is saying that you really need to learn how to channel your passions properly. The reason why you have so much passion is so that you can turn it into courage to pursue things and to give you the perseverance to be able to follow through and fulfill those things. And at the same time, risk it here is saying that if you are starting to feel a deeper emotional connection to someone that you might already be with, for some of you, go ahead and admit it. However things turn out, the truth is still going to free you. Call upon your spirit animal to give you the courage and bravery to go after the things that you know you want. Because at the end of the day, the worst thing that you can suffer is a regret of not trying, of not actually living. Now, finally, we are going to look into the Super Attractor cards for some positive affirmations on how you can better attract the good things in your life. Now, first we have here, when I cultivate a spiritual connection, I can trust the universe no matter what. Now, this is especially true for your relationships. Sure, the physical aspect is important, it's fun, but it's never going to be able to fill that void of connecting with someone on a deeper emotional as well as spiritual level. And at the same time, these connections and fulfillment doesn't only come from romantic relationships, but you have to nurture your spiritual connections in all of your other relationships as well. Next, we have here, true manifestations are powered by service and love. Now, if you are the other type who has so much passion, but it's because you're not channeling it into the proper creative or maybe even career outlet, then this here is a reminder that in order for you to manifest the outcomes that you want, in order for you to be able to get over the fear of trying and starting, of pursuing these things, you have to remember the value of these things or ventures that you are passionate about. Find the importance of how it can help other people in some way or form. Find the means of how it's an expression of your love. And rest on the fact that the more of yourself that you give out there, the better it is for the universe as a collective, and at the same time, the more that you will be receiving as well. And finally, it says, I feel my way into faith one step at a time. And I think this is the perfect one to end this with and tie everything together. Is basically all about you feeling more and feeling deeper. Not just on a sensory level, but on an emotional level, on a spiritual level, without having to fear these deep feelings that you have. And with knowing that any time that you need it, you can call out to your spirit animal to help you and to guide you, especially in the tough times when you are having trouble discerning the truth or expressing yourself or just plain getting over your fears. So that's it for this part, my Harrower number 2. If you would like to see the part 2 of this video wherein I'm going to use the tarot cards to get specific messages from your spirit guide to you, then I suggest that you subscribe to my channel so that you'll be notified when that video is out. And if you resonated with any of these messages, then please do give this video a thumbs up. You have received your divine message. May God bless you and keep on cultivating. Bye! Hello and welcome, my Harrower number 3. I already laid out your cards for you, and we are going to start with the Spirit Animal Oracle card in order for us to take a look at the energy of your spirit animal. And the one that you have is the Dove Spirit. So it says, be peace with the number 21. So just as it says there, your spirit animal is the one that helps you through your troubled times. No matter what's going on around you, even inside you, it's like for some reason there are just the still times where you can feel a certain amount of peace in between all of the rough waves that you are experiencing or the storms. The Dove Spirit also reminds me of the Holy Spirit. So communication is also important here. And your spirit animal is there to help guide and remind you to have compassion for other people, to remember the importance of understanding and looking towards the good things, especially in other people. The dove spirit is there to always remind you to be kind to other people because we are each going through something in our lives. And at the same time, anytime that you are feeling fear or lost or just drowning in your emotions, know that there is a place of peace that you can tap into within yourself. There is rest. You can surrender your worries to God and rest in His arms, as your spirit animal will see you safely through any storms that passes in your life. Now, you're the group that got the most cards, and next we're going to look into the Psychic Tarot Oracle deck for the main roles or aspects of your life that your spirit animal governs. So the ones that you got were choose wisely. This is also the Seven of Cups. You also got power. This is also strength. And the chakra that your spirit animal is ruling is your heart chakra. Now this is very interesting, and I'm getting several messages for some of you. Now I would just like to point out that the heart chakra, coincidentally, is also all about peace, calmness, serenity, and as well as compassion, love, beauty. Now, the name for the heart chakra literally translates into unhurt. Now, with choose wisely as well as power, I can see that a lot of you here are very ambitious, or that you have big dreams, as well as many different opportunities or paths that you might be pulled towards. If you are too troubled to decide and you're unsure, call upon your spirit animal to give you some guidance as well as clarity with regards to your choices. But at the same time, with power here, I can see that a lot of you are actually emotionally troubled, or that it's easy for you to get emotionally disturbed or upset even by the little things or minor annoyances. I can feel here that a lot of you actually have a temper, maybe even anger issues, or that you simply have some trouble regulating your emotions. But all of those things are coming from a place of pain. For some of you, any negative emotion that you have just gets channeled or translated into anger. So your spirit animal is there to bring you peace during those times. That's the main role that they have in your life. So if you are going through those experiences, then call upon them. But at the same time, for some of you, it's a little bit of the opposite, wherein there are some of you who are struggling to come into your personal power. But whichever you are, this is a reminder that you can rest in the fact that with your spirit animal there to guide you, you can choose your battles wisely. Or that rather than blowing some things out of proportion, you can tap into your inner compassion that you actually have deep within you as well. Now, next we're going to take a look at the Healing Mantra deck to check on some of the things that your spirit animal is helping you to improve on specifically. So first we have here dissolving judgments. I don't have to like the actions of others in order to love my journey. This for me is saying that your spirit animal is helping you to not be so affected by every single thing that other people around you are doing. Because with the resilience coming from your spirit animal, if you will just call out to them, you can remain within the stillness in yourself, regardless of what everyone else around you is doing. You have your own thing. Everything else doesn't always have to be triggering you. The next one is untangling neglect. This says that I take the time to give myself all the approval I desire. So this is for some of you that I feel get very upset and even angry at any injustices that they see, be it something that's done to you personally or to other people around you that you just see. Something about those kinds of situations that really set you off. And at the same time, for some of you, this is something that's tied up with this uncovering confidence. I am the missing piece that completes the puzzle of the universe. It's for those of you who are struggling to find your place and power in the world. Those of you who keep on doubting yourself or who are struggling to assert. Those of you who might be dealing with some inferiority complex or who struggle with overcompensating. Because not only can the dove spirit give you peace, it can also give you peace in the sense that it's giving you courage or security. So peace in knowing that you are set, that you have the capability to be at your personal best. As it takes a certain amount of endurance to be able to pursue your goals and dreams into fruition and reality. And the dove spirit is here to see you through it despite all of the struggles that you might face along the way. With a reminder not to lash out or take it out on other people, to always be mindful that they might be going through something as well. And as much as we can, if we can, then it's better for us to just make it easier for them as well. Now next we're going to look into the crazy, sexy love notes cards for some self-care messages on how you can improve on yourself as well as your connection with your spirit animal. So the first that we have here is reconsider your commitments. So it says here that have you piled so much on your plate that there's little room for you? Identify what truly matters and graciously decline the rest. There's a universe of meaningful opportunities on the other side of no. In fact, every no makes space for the perfect yes. Your freedom is closer than you think, so this is quite perfect. Especially for those of you who are always taking on so much because you have this fear of missing out on things if you decline or in being so ambitious that you're trying to do everything yourself. Because even if you can handle it because you have the strength, your energy is going to get so saturated that the tendency is that you'll just get more frustrated and even more angry. But when you decline, you're giving yourself the opportunity to have the stillness in order for you to gain more clarity. This is the time when you make more room for yourself that you're able to invite more of your spirit animal to come into your life and help you out. The next that you have here is stop comparing. And it says here that apples don't compare themselves to oranges. Stars don't compete with other stars. They know there's room for all to shine in this ever-expanding universe. So embrace your differences. Celebrate your quirks and kinks. Bring your fullest expression of self forward and champion others when they do the same. So there we go for those of you who are over competitive because you feel a need to prove yourself. This here is a reminder for you that your only competition is yourself as well, and that comparisons only invite more frustrations or only strains your relationships with other people, when what you need to channel is compassion. Being happy in seeing the achievements of other people as well. Because you know that one way or another, eventually your time to shine will come as well. When you stop comparing, you can invite more of your spirit animal to come into your life and bring you peace even in the times where you're losing. But still have that hope that next time you'll be able to make it. And finally, we have slow down. This says, when it feels like our world is spinning out of control, it's easy to get overwhelmed. This is a good time to begin a daily meditation practice. Your mind is the most open and receptive in the morning, which is why it's helpful to start your day with centering exercises. Cultivate stillness within and know that there is no rush. At the end of our days, we won't care about our to-do lists. We'll wish we had loved more, lived more, and been at peace. Don't wait. Slow down now. And I think that's just wonderful. The only time that you're ever going to have peace in your life is when you stop. Take deep breaths whenever you feel like you are slowly getting agitated again. Bring yourself back down and call on to your spirit animal. When you're feeling overstimulated or over-competitive, never forget to take a break so that your emotions or frustrations don't build up to a point where you can't control them. And especially for those of you who are dealing with anger issues or a temper, then a daily meditation to start your day could really do wonders. Now finally, we're going to take a look at the Super Attractor Oracle deck for some positive affirmations on how you can manifest more good things in your life. So the first that we have here is, I don't have to fear my fear. I can use it as a way to get closer to love. So for those of you who are feeling strained, agitated, or held back, Whether it's you having trouble coming into your personal power because of fear, or whether your fear is manifesting into anger and frustration, call on your spirit animal to give you the peace along with the courage to be able to get over your fears and know that whatever is in front of you is worth getting through in order for you to get to love and happiness that you know you deserve. Let your dove spirit take you through. And finally, we have true manifesting is about receiving what is of the highest good for all. So here comes in the compassion of being solid and stable enough to consider what's best for everyone. Because the moment that you're doing something for the highest good or the common good, you're also heightening and inviting more goodness into your life. So that's it for today, my Harrower number 3. If you would like to see the part 2 of this video, then I suggest that you subscribe to my channel so that you'll be notified when it's already uploaded. And if any of these messages resonated with you, then please do give this video a thumbs up. You have received your divine message. May God bless you and keep on cultivating. Bye! Hello and welcome, my Harrower number 4. So for today, I already laid out your cards and this is going to be your reading. Now first off, we're going to start with the Spirit Animal Oracle deck, so that we can look at the energy of your spirit animals or familiar. So you're the only group that got 2 cards for the spirit animal. But in your case, this very clearly makes sense because these 2 are very much complementary with each other and they are quite similar, as you can see even with the color scheme. Not all of the cards in this deck have such a color scheme, so for these 2 to have the same, and I shuffled it really well, this is very interesting right here, and I think is a way to make a point. So the 2 that you got are Wolf Spirit number 67. It says turn knowledge into wisdom. And the other one that you got is the Elephant Spirit. It says learn from the past. And again, I want you to just see how similar the color scheme is for these 2 cards. And again, the other cards are quite different in this deck. Now, in your case, it could be that you only have 1 spirit animal embodying these 2. I think that's the case for most of you. It's just that it has the combination of these 2 energies right here in your 1 spirit animal. But it's also possible that for others of you, you do have 2 spirit animals guiding you, fulfilling each of these different roles. Now, starting off with the wolf spirit, this is a little bit of a more playful energy for a spirit animal. And although there is a common theme in both of these 2 cards, and it's all about wisdom. Basically, your spirit animal or spirit animals is all about guiding you towards inner wisdom. But for the wolf spirit, it's in a way where you can utilize your knowledge and make magic based on what you know, or it's basically applying your knowledge to create something good in your life or to influence other people. It's having that confidence, knowing that you have the capacity for creation. Whereas with the elephant spirit, it's talking more about learning based on experience, not just your own experience, but the experiences of people before you, from your ancestors to your family, even from the experiences of the people that you meet in your lifetime. So it's all about learning from those experiences and retaining them as a form of wisdom that you can apply towards your present life or in the future, especially when you encounter similar situations. Next, we're going to look at the Psychic Tarot Oracle deck to look at what specific aspect of your life your spirit animal or spirit animals are governing. And it is no surprise that your spirit animal governs your crown chakra. So the crown chakra is the one that's connected with the cosmos, or the one that prompts you to have a higher understanding of the universe. Basically having a heightened awareness, transcending your limitations. And you also have here rejoice in celebration. This is the Three of Cups. And you also have memories of love, Six of Cups. So basically just with these two, as well as with this card right here that we're going to look at later. Now, your spirit animals are actually guiding you in applying these things that you know, your higher understanding that you naturally have, towards your relationship with other people, towards being able to find your happiness, and also, more importantly, for memories of love, it's in finding your soul tribe and connecting with the people who are from your soul tribe. So if you are at a time where you're struggling to find happiness or a balance through relaxation and enjoyment, you can call upon your wolf spirit to be able to give you ideas, so knowledge that you can apply, that you can work magic with to manifest more enjoyment in your life. And then when it comes to looking for your soul tribe, being able to recognize who are the people that are meant to be in your life, meant to stay in your life, or simply play a significant role in your life, then you can call on your elephant spirit to give you the guidance, the wisdom that you have learned even from your past lives, to tap into those memories or information. Now, for the wolf spirit and rejoice in celebration, it calls you to have that confidence in knowing that you have the capability, you have what it takes, you have the knowledge to be able to make good things happen for your life. You don't have to be scared in going out there and trying things out, because you have this guidance. Whereas for the elephant spirit and memories of love, this calls you to, when you're learning from your experience, to remember things as it is. Elephants are known for their good memories, so take both the good and the bad when you are trying to learn, because there is a lesson in both. So it is of utmost importance that you remember things clearly and exactly for what they are or what they were. Do not filter it in a way that you're only either remembering the good things, or for others it's that you're only remembering the bad things. You have to take both, because that's what's going to give you the clearest perception and the highest form of wisdom that you can get from the experience. Next, we're going to be looking at the healing mantra oracle cards for the main things that your spirit animal or spirit animals are trying to help you improve on. Now, first is expanding inner power. I am my most powerful when my creativity is given a voice. So that's gorgeous. The other one is healing heartbreak. My heart will love again. So, like I mentioned, especially with the wolf spirit, to be able to help you gain the confidence. Because usually when you're new at something or new to something, there's this tendency to hesitate because you're not completely familiar with it yet, or you're not good at it yet. But what you have to understand is the more that you try out these seemingly new things with the help of your wolf spirit, you're actually expanding your inner power, because you are giving yourself the opportunity to learn more, and therefore gaining more wisdom and gaining more personal sense of achievement. Whereas for healing heartbreak, the elephant spirit is calling for you to not give up on love or relationships just because you have been burnt in the past. You simply must learn from those things that have previously happened to you, but without the prejudice or this certain assumption that it's still going to happen to you in the future. Because just for the fact that you already have the wisdom from that experience equips you already to be able to handle more things, or even if a similar situation comes up for you in the future, just for the fact that you have wisdom about it changes the whole game. You're supposed to carry that wisdom with you to help you and elevate you, not to hold you back from trying to experience more and better things. And whenever you feel like you are in doubt in either of these two things, whether it's with regards to your confidence in pursuing new things, or whether it's fear when it comes to love and relationships, then by all means call upon your spirit animals to help you get through those, because that's what exactly they are there for you. Now next, we are going to take a look at the crazy sexy love notes for some self-care messages on how you can improve your life and at the same time improve your relationship and connection with your spirit animals. So the first one that you have is offer your love. Is there someone in your life who could benefit from loving kindness? The gesture doesn't have to be big. Send an email, pick up the phone, pop by for a visit, or order a bouquet of posies. Let this person know that you're thinking of him or her. When we offer our love generously, that caring energy comes back to us tenfold, while also lifting us up in the process. Reach out and offer your love today. And the other one, very much in tied with it as well, is compassion for all. Compassion is the beating heart of all spiritual practices. The peace you seek comes from the peace you create. Extend your compassion to all beings today, including yourself. Everyone benefits when you are kind. May all beings be happy and free. And I think that this is wonderful, especially with the emphasis for your relationships with other people. See, these two cards here, these are both cups, dealing with the emotional side, interpersonal connection. Because what essentially is the true purpose of the wisdom that you gain in your life, or even from your past lives and from other people's lives? It's basically to improve your relationships with others, your connections, as well as to grow the love that you have. The more that you learn, the more that you should be able to understand other people, the more that you should be able to trust in them. You are not meant to become cynical with the wisdom that you gain, but rather you are meant to have a deeper understanding of other people, even those people who might have hurt you in the past. When you share your love and compassion for other people, the more that you open yourself as well to be able to receive those along with happiness and fulfillment. Yes, there are instances wherein you need to tread carefully, but that's what you have your spirit animals for, to be able to guide you through those situations. But the bottom line is the goal of your ascension or spiritual enlightenment is so that you will be more connected with the universe and the collective beings within it. Now, finally, we are going to take a look at the Super Attractor Oracle cards for some positive affirmations on how you can invite more good things and better experiences in your life. So the first that we have is, believing in spiritual guidance gives me certainty and the freedom to keep dreaming even when I can't yet see the results. So yes, you are meant to trust more. Trust in your inner knowing. Trust in your spiritual guides who are there leading you, giving you the confidence and courage, as well as the wisdom to make the right choices, so that you'll know you'll never be lost in your life. You are meant to transcend any of your physical limitations and boundaries so that you can rise to a greater height. And finally, when I'm grateful for what I have, I can feel good along the way to what I desire. So there we go. It's not always about the end point or the end goal. The journey going there is equally as important. You're not meant to just enjoy the fruits of your labor at the end, but you are meant to enjoy the journey getting there, because that experience in itself is already valuable. So there we go, my Harrower number 4. That's it for today. If you would like to see the part 2 of this video, then I suggest that you subscribe to my channel so that you'll be notified when it's uploaded. And if you resonated with any of these messages, then please do give this video a thumbs up. I'd really appreciate that. And you have received your divine message. May God bless you and keep on cultivating. Bye!